Atmosphere goes hand in hand with sports. It's like Mello and his hats, a symbiotic relationship. A regular season baseball game in June doesn't feel the same as an NFL playoff game, but that's okay. A ballpark day game where the sun is shining and the Pirates are losing but the fans are still happy, that just feels right. In a postseason football game, there's a certain tension in the air. Everyone playing in the game and in the stands feels a little more primal and emotional. That's expected. It would be weird if every game felt the same, but each game's atmosphere is created in part from the fan participation. Nowadays, since fans aren't allowed in many venues, teams are allowed to artificially create that atmosphere with fake crowd noise. Some people like it, some people hate it. I'm neither here nor there, but I do think it makes sense. Some say these leagues shouldn't add fan noise so that the TV viewers can have a more intimate experience. Being able to hear all of the banter and coaching would be cool, considering that's basically impossible when there are thousands of fans. However, the teams have a vested interest in making the game appear more exciting because this is a lot more memorable than this. On top of the quality of the product, some teams actually benefit in-game. CenturyLink Field, Lumen Field, registered vibrations coming from fans jumping around in the stadium on a seismograph. That's unquestionably distracting for the opposing team. Well, not the seismograph part. They probably didn't find that out until after, but you know what I mean. New Orleans Saints Superdome is historically loud, making it difficult to relay play calls from coaches to players, which technically affects both sides, but the Saints players are more used to the noise since they play there 8 times a year, and the fans are sure to stay quieter when New Orleans is on offense, so the sound doesn't bother them as much. The Miami Marlins fans have been trying the exact opposite approach for years, and they finally got back into the playoffs last year. The point is, there's reason to believe that teams want fans to be going wild in the stands, and long before artificial crowd noise was widely permissible, as it is today, the Atlanta Falcons wanted that advantage, but didn't have enough screams to make it happen. So, they pumped in their own, and got punished for it. Now, as far as sports cheating scandals go, I don't find this one to be particularly sacrilegious, but it's a pretty funny blip on the radar with all the details accounted for. In 2015, the Falcons were punished by the league for pumping in fake crowd noise at home games during the previous 2 seasons. For the violation, Atlanta lost a 5th-round pick. Not insignificant, but small potatoes in the grand scheme of a team and the draft and whatnot. There's a reasonable chance that you may not remember this or have heard about it at all in the first place, and I don't blame you. It wasn't a form of cheating that was specifically game-altering, like a corked bat or steroids or something like that. It's a form of cheating that is more hopeful than anything. Perhaps adding more crowd noise could create that Superdome effect and throw off the other team. That was probably the hope. Except that it didn't do that at all. Yeah, the Falcons only won 6 of their 16 home games over the course of those 2 seasons, so the entire exercise not only docked a draft pick from the team, but was also futile. Well, except for the irony that one of those 6 wins came against the Saints, which leads me to conjecture that New Orleans was so used to having road games be so much quieter that they were thrown off when Atlanta really showed up for that one. The team accepted the punishment without any whining. Arthur Blank, the owner of the team, said he was embarrassed about the situation, and on top of the draft picks, the Falcons' president, Rich McKay, was suspended from the NFL's competition committee for a few months. He had a chance to appeal the suspension, but chose not to. Like I said, a blip on the radar. However, McKay was not technically the culprit of the cheating. He claimed to not know that the fake crowd was being added in, so who was the one running the speakers? Roddy White. Roddy White? Like this Roddy White? The Roddy White that was on the field catching passes? No, actually it was a different Roddy White, which sounds like a joke, but I swear it's the truth. He was the event marketing director, and he got canned for doing it. I looked him up on LinkedIn, and it looks like he runs a live event production company now, so he landed on his feet. Good for him. I don't think a stupid mistake like this should have held him back too much. I will say, though, the thought of Roddy White, the receiver, tampering with the audio tracks in the middle of a game, like one of those old Buffalo Wild Wings commercials, is way more entertaining.
The only thing that would make this any better is overtime.
They'll need a miracle to win this football game.
As far as I can tell, this is one of the few, if not the only time, a team has ever been punished for doing this. Other teams have been accused of it, but I haven't seen any sanctions about them. Al Michaels said that the Minnesota Twins were pumping in fake crowd noise during the 1987 World Series. Michaels said, quote, "I'm going, wait a minute, this is a baseball game. Nobody is screaming like this when the 5th inning starts." Admittedly, the Twins did win every home game and lost every road game that series, but it's sort of how the split is expected to shake out, fake crowd noise or not. Plus, the Twins hadn't been to a World Series since 1965, so if I was a Twins fan, I think I'd have been pretty jazzed up regardless of what inning it was. Michaels apparently also used to accuse the Minnesota Vikings of this as well, and apparently former Vikings coach Dennis Green's son admitted that they did this. Both teams played in the Metrodome, rest in peace. The stadium's workers denied these allegations, and neither team was ever punished for it. A similar situation sprang up with the Indianapolis Colts in 2007. They received a much more specific accusation from the New England Patriots after a regular season matchup that year. Apparently there was evidence of the noise during the TV broadcast, and oh, look! Quote, "A capital W web space site, YouTube, carried a 1-minute, 10-second clip entitled Indy Cheats that replayed the moments in question. No link provided." Okay, that's fine. I'll just look it up myself. And I don't think that's what I'm looking for. I ended up finding this play on my own, which was in the 4th quarter. There's this weird audio glitch you can hear on the broadcast that immediately fades after Randy Moss gets tackled.
And Moss, open on the slant.
This led to Patriots president Jonathan Kraft complaining to the NFL security team and the league investigating the claim. From the articles I've read, this wasn't even heard in the stadium, it was just a CBS issue. But New England head coach Bill Belichick was also dissatisfied with something else. He claimed the coach-to-quarterback operation, which I assume is the earpiece speaker in the QB's helmet, was not working in this game, so they had to signal in all of the plays. This is hilarious for 2 reasons. Number 1, pot, meet kettle. Yeah, this was 2 months after the Patriots were accused of and found guilty of videotaping the New York Jets signals in the season opener. They lost a first-round pick because of this, and for what? The Eric Mangini Jets? They started the year 1-8, Bill. Pick a better team to steal from. Actually, they did do that. Commissioner Roger Goodell said there were 6 tapes from the 2006 season and 2007 preseason that the league confiscated and destroyed as well. The second reason this is so funny is that the Patriots were accused of and again found guilty of deflating footballs in the AFC Championship just under a decade later against, who else? The Indianapolis Colts. Tom Brady got suspended for 4 games, and the Pats lost another first-round pick, as well as a 4th-round pick in the next draft, but that's not why this is funny. It's funny because this game was not even close. The Patriots blew the Colts out, so if New England really did tamper with the balls, it seemingly worked. The 2007 game, the one where Indy was accused of fake crowd noise, yeah, the Colts lost. The league didn't even find the team guilty, but even if they did add the noise, that means the team can't even cheat right. Just like the Falcons in 2013 and 2014. When artificial crowd noise was a topic of conversation ahead of the 2020 season, Atlanta's Matt Ryan joked about the whole non-debacle.
Well, I'm not sure our organization should be talking about pumping in crowd noise, but I think we had a small issue with that a little while ago, but whatever they want to do is cool with me. I'll be ready to go.
Maybe you hate hearing the fake crowd noise in sports. That's fine. Maybe you like having the atmosphere even if fans can't be there. That's fine too. The one thing we've all learned today is that apparently it doesn't do a damn thing either way.